Hey everyone, Mona here from the Wig Fairy Salon. Today we're going to go over all the different colors that you guys could create with the Mona More wigs. Here at the Wig Fairy we have colorists on site, and what we do is we'll give you guys different looks as far as solid colors on your wigs. Then we could create ombre for you, we could create the balayage, we could do dark rooting. And what this video is going to be about is just showing you all the different looks that you could create with your wig to create a natural look and not look like you're wearing a wig and feel good and natural in what you're wearing. So here's another wig from the Mona More wig collection. This particular piece, we're showing you the rooting again, and what I'm showing you on this one is if your wig is about a color, say about 4 to color 6, we could go in and put in dark black roots into it. And once again, the reason why we choose the dark black rooting is for it to look like it's growing out right from your scalp, because normal hair always grows darker from the roots. So even if you're a person that actually has hair color like this, if you notice on your regular hair, your roots are darker and then it tends to get lighter just from the sun. So you always want to have your wig rooted most of the time, or if you're going to have something done that you don't want the rooting, maybe it's possibly have highlights going down where your roots become darker compared to the base that is at the bottom. So here's another wig from the Mona More wig collection. What I want to show you on this particular piece is two different things. One, we could go and look at the rooting over here where it's more of a deep rooting. I hope you could see the color contrast between this, because what it is, it's about a color 4 and it slowly merges down to color 6, 8 towards the bottom. Something like this is very subtle, but automatically it'll give you that illusion that it's growing out of your head as well. So if someone is not looking for rooting, like a shorter rooting where it's very noticeable, you could do something more deeper like this. Or if you're someone that likes to go with a solid color and don't want too many pops of highlights or too many different looks, dimensions in your wig, you could do something subtle like this. So that's number one, going with the rooting a little further down. And you could do something like this if your wig is about a color 4 once again, or a color 2, and do something subtle. Or vice versa. If you have a wig that is lighter like this, we could always bring in a darker color into the top and pull it down to the bottom. So we'll pretty much stop about here and then we'll comb it down so you still get that illusion. So a lot of times what happens with wigs, they tend to oxidize. Wearing wigs in the sun is just a natural thing. Doesn't matter what wig you're wearing or from who or what it is. Every wig tends to oxidize. So what you could do is once your wig does oxidize, then that's when you come into us and we decide what kind of rooting you want to do and what kind of color dimension you want to add into your wig. On this particular piece, what I would like to show you guys is two different things. One is the rooting that we spoke about earlier, about why you kind of need to have rooting done on a wig. A particular piece like this obviously can be worn without any kind of rooting. But what you notice here against her face, no wig, what I mentioned, will ever grow out of someone's hair, or your natural hair will ever grow out with no colors at the roots. So even if you want to do something as the slightest color, you have to do something. Otherwise your wig will look as clean as this is, which is really realistically, in my view, is not natural. But once again, you have two choices to go. You go a little bit darker here, or say that this is the color that you like to keep and this is your base color. I would recommend going in and putting a little bit thicker highlights into it to give it some dimension. This particular piece, besides the rooting, already has low lights put into it. So if it's a color 6 base, what we recommended was going in and putting low lights into it, which are very subtle and light, but they're gradually put into the wig. So from here on, you have an option to go and put the rooting or just leave the low lights as is. And once again, it would be based on your eyebrow color and your stylist and colorist, what you would like to do from there. This particular piece I consider as our perfect piece, and not necessarily because of the color that is running through it. It might not be exactly what you need for yourself, but I would like to show you all the different options that you could create in your wig. This particular piece has about a color 6 running through the wig, 6 to 8 I would say. It has some low lights running in through the wig, which is another option that you could always do. And then we chose to go in and put some thicker highlights into this, where you see these lighter blonde pieces running through. Another thing, a piece of highlight like this doesn't necessarily need to start from up here. You could always do the low lights and then go down here and have some pops of highlights, which is like grown out highlights, I can call them pops of highlights. And that again will give you some lighter pieces throughout your wig, get rid of the perfect dimension look, and you'll end up having, you know, a more striking looking, prettier wig. This piece again has rooting done on top of it, which adds to the look. As you can see here, The rooting are about a color 4, I would say. And I'm gonna tilt it over that you could see where the color changes over. So the rooting are about here, they're combed down, so the same color is pulled through the wig, and then there's highlights. So these are all the different options that you guys have for the wig that you currently have, or on any of the Mona More wig collections that we could do here for you at the Wig Fairy.